We were not going to focus on the outcome. That we were just going to focus on the process of what it took to play the best you could play, which was to focus on that particular play like it had a history and a life of its own. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at any other external factors. Just all your focus, all your concentration, all your effort, all your toughness, all your discipline to execute went into that particular play. And regardless of what happened on that play, success or failure, you would move on to the next play and have the same focus to do that on the next play. And then you would be able to live with the results regardless of what those results were.
As a trader, you have to have goals. For me, my number one goal is to follow my rules. My next most important goal is not to lose money. To me, that's far more important than making money. I want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing and that I do not lose money, except when I'm doing the right thing. I certainly don't want to do things that will cause me to lose money. Next, I want to make money. Obviously, everyone wants to make money as a trader. And my least important goal is to make a lot of money. Some days I do make a lot of money, but I don't try hard to make a lot of money. What I try hard to do is make money, and sometimes I'm fortunate and I make a lot. I'm much more concerned about following my rules, doing the right thing, not making stupid mistakes. And if I do that, I will make money, and sometimes I'll make a lot of money. If I focus too much on making a lot of money, I'll end up losing money. So to me, the most important thing is try to stay objective and do the right thing. And that gives you your best chance of making money. If you want to make a lot of money, you're probably feeling greedy and you're being influenced by emotion, and you'll have a hard time following your rules and achieving your goals.
I understand the argument that, I want to get rich. I really want to get rich. I want to become a trader. I want to get rich. But, that's not, you're jumping ahead. The first goal is I got to learn how to trade. I got to stop losing money. I have to start consistently making money. I have to start to grow my account. I have to start to increase my position size. And then you say, I'm going to get rich, right? People just think I'm going to trade, I'm going to get rich. But there are these other goals that you should really focus on. And, getting rich, that'll come naturally, right? First, you got to consistently make profit and then grow your position. And you don't have to have a huge position to make a pretty good living as a trader. If you simply take that one 20-point trade a day, that's $1,000 per E-mini contract, right? And if you get 3 of those a week, that's $3,000 a week. That's $150,000 a year. And if you go up to 3 contracts, you're around $500,000 a year. You don't have to trade 100 contracts to do pretty well.
Just trying to become the best you absolutely can be at doing one thing, and that's why I do what I do. I think if you can see any kind of a system where you can make money, I think stop looking at anything else and just try to get really, really good at that one thing. Because if it's a repeatable thing, if there are patterns to it, and you can get really good at it, you can make all the money that you want. For me, I cannot, process too many different approaches. I want to keep it simple and keep it clean and just try to get really, really good at what I'm doing. Trying not to take bad setups, trying to take as many good setups as I can, and trying to work on my volume. Trading is really hard. To look at a chart at the end of the day, it's simple. To look at any type of chart, any time frame, to look at indicators at the end of the day, everything is really simple. But to do it real time, I think trading is really, really hard. And no matter how good you are, it's really, really hard.
Focus on that particular play like it had a history and a life of its own. Don't look at the scoreboard. Don't look at any other external factors. Just all your focus, all your concentration, all your effort, all your toughness, all your discipline to execute went into that particular play. And regardless of what happened on that play, success or failure, you would move on to the next play and have the same focus to do that on the next play. And then you would be able to live with the results regardless of what those results were.